Welcome to the Hockey Writers Chicks and Sticks, a weekly show hosted by some of our best female hockey writers, bringing you the latest news, rumors, trades, player grades, game results, and much more. From talking hockey with NHL personalities to tackling the latest big issues, our team covers everything hockey and more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some Chicks and Sticks.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 32 of Chicks and Sticks, brought to you by the Hockey Writers. My name is Melissa Boyd, and I'm once again joined by my partners in crime, Kristy Flannery, Hannah Garfield, and Mariah Stark. Another late Friday night recording for the second week in a row. We're all still awake, happily. We're ready to kick off our weekend with the show. Just before we get going, I wanted to let you all know that this week's show is being brought to you by The Morning Skate, a daily newsletter delivered to your inbox Monday to Friday, jam-packed with the best hockey stuff on the planet. It's a daily dose of the latest NHL news, rumors, history, funnies, quizzes, etc., etc. Just a little hockey fun and information brought to you every day of the week from us to you. So you'll see a link in this show description if you're not signed up yet. So let's get to our show because there's a lot going on and there's a lot that has gone on. It seems like the news cycle is back in full gear after the COVID break. So let's get right to it. We'll start with our traditional team updates since we didn't do them last week during our Jeopardy episode. So, Kristy, how are things in New Jersey?
We're still dealing with the depleted roster, but the good news is that today Jesper Bratt and Damon Severson were back at practice, which means they are off the COVID list, which is a huge sigh of relief for Devils fans everywhere. They had 2 consecutive losses, and they don't play again actually until the 19th. So Hannah, I'm kind of in your realm with the team just not playing. And we're playing the Coyotes, so hopefully they can win. So.
All right. Mariah, I hear there's 2 rookies impressing in Minnesota these days.
Oh, where do I start? So like half the lineup is still missing. We're supposed to get Eriksson Ek back. He is now in COVID protocol. Joy. We did get Kaprizov back. Duhaime and Greenway are off of COVID protocol, but we're still missing Spurgeon, Brodin, Talbot. Yeah, we're still missing a lot of people, but they've won 2 in a row and they are currently beating the Ducks 7-3. And yeah, Marco Rossi and Matt Boldy were really impressive in their first couple games. Rossi is back with Iowa, but Boldy is playing tonight and he, I believe, scored a goal again. So he's doing really well and I am impressed with him a lot. So hopefully this 7-3 doesn't unravel and they'll get their 3rd win in a row.
Yeah, that would be a tough loss from up 7-3. Hannah, Boston has been playing a lot of games finally.
I know,
and doing
finally.
Well. Doing well.
They are. It's been, 2022 has been good to the Bruins so far. I will say I am a little concerned going forward with just how many games they're going to be playing. I think I calculated it for one of my articles last week. They had to play 50 games in 115 days. So it's going to be interesting going forward, but actually it seems to be working in their favor much more than their very random long pauses that they had to start the season. In particular, David Pastrnak has found his scoring touch again and has been on fire, as well as Brad Marchand. And then the biggest news, of course, is that Tuukka Rask re-signed. Yes. He's back. Our guy, he's back. He won his first game last night against the Flyers, even though the defense did nothing to help him. But he's still, he showed what he is. Like, he is that elite goaltender still. And I think, as much as it hurts to send Swayman down to Providence, I think it's the move that had to be made, and you can't turn down. You can't if your franchise leader goaltender says he wants to come back and play, you got to bring him back and play, and it's proving to be all right so far.
Yes, it's great to have him back, and the buzz that it's creating. It's fun. The NHL needs it right now.
Yes.
So.
I love Tuukka Rask. I've never understood the hate he gets, so I'm fully in the Tuukka Rask camp.
Right on. Well, hopefully he stays healthy and the Bruins can make a good run at it for him this year. In Montreal, well, we're kind of the opposite of the Devils and the Wild, where the Habs are finally getting some bodies back, and the lineup is looking more like an NHL roster. Finally, and off the ice, well, I've been talking about the GM search for the last couple of weeks. It looks like it's winding down to its last few days here. So they're going to be starting second round of interviews. There's apparently 3 or 4 candidates left in the running, including Matthew Darche and Danny Briere, apparently are among the finalists. So there should probably be some exciting news out of Montreal next week, it's looking like. Everyone is looking forward to that. And of course, they are continuing to, paying for Shane Wright is the motto right now. So that is continuing. We are in
a good rhyme.
Heated battle with Arizona, and fun. Not really, but
I mean, at least you're in the battle for something.
Exactly, right? It's like you gotta. It's like I was on Howler. I was on the Howlers and Growlers this week, and I said, you gotta embrace the tank, embrace the suck, and hopefully there'll be some rewards at the end. All right. So I had to bring this up because it is the hot topic in the league right now. Everyone is talking about it. Good and mostly bad. Let's just say it's eliciting a ton of opinions. So I had to get yours on the latest in the Evander Kane saga. So for those who don't know, I'll just say quickly, he had his contract terminated by the San Jose Sharks for breach of contract, essentially for breaking COVID-19 violations both in the NHL and the AHL. So which means now that his contract is terminated, that he is able to sign with another NHL team. We think there's a lot of legal stuff going on, but he is technically a free agent. And despite all of his, shall we say, transgressions, there is a lot of interest around the league for him. So my question to you ladies is, if you were a GM, which I hope we all are someday, would you even take a second, would you even glance at Evander Kane, or will you just say, no, I don't have time for this? Hannah, I'm going to start with you because I know you have a lot of thoughts.
I always have a lot of thoughts. No, I mean, I think it's easy to say when you don't have the pressure of a franchise on your shoulders to say, no way. Because I know Ken Holland has said in the media that he believes in second chances, but this isn't a second chance for Evander Kane. This is like 5th, 6th, 7th. This is a guy who every other year seems to be in the news for some story. And at some point, enough is enough. Hockey is playing hockey for a career is a privilege. There are hundreds and thousands of people who would have given anything to do that for a career. And yes, second chances are important, but why is your second chance getting to continue to play the fun sport when you don't show that you deserve to continue to do the fun job? And that's my biggest issue with Evander Kane, and that's my biggest issue with, in professional sports in general, with giving second chance. I mean, they're always going to give second chances to guys that are talented who don't necessarily deserve that to continue to play the fun job that anybody else would have given anything to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very well said. Mariah, what do you think? Would you be interested in him or no?
No. And I actually talked to my boss at my other job about this very thoroughly, every day we talk about this. I was like, well, if he didn't have all this stuff going on, then yeah, I would. But he wouldn't be in this situation. He would be with San Jose in the locker room with everybody. Everything would be going good. So no, because I don't want that disrupting my team's locker room. and the locker room is a big deal. And I mean, we've seen what goes down when things are not good and when things are good. And I would not want to take that chance. And he just, like Hannah said, he's had numerous chances. When is the NHL just going to be like, okay, we're done? You're making us look bad. You have some talent, obviously, but no, enough is enough. It's like he's making a joke of the league.
Yeah. Kristy, hard pass or?
This is just so fascinating to me on so many levels. Like, I wish I was a fly on the wall, because you really don't, as much as we think we know, we really don't know how a locker room works. We can only go off of the things that we hear. And allegedly, Evander Kane's done a lot of bad things. I don't think it's worth it, but I think it's interesting to look at the teams who have reached a level of, maybe desperation is not the right word, but they've reached a level where they're willing to just kind of look the other way at his past if it means that they can get into a deep Stanley Cup run or potentially win a Stanley Cup. And those two teams that stick out to me are Edmonton and Toronto. So it's more of how far are you willing to go? I personally, as a GM, he would not be on my radar. I would go by character first. And from what he allegedly has done, it's just, that would be a hard pass for me.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you mentioned, potential suitors. It does look like actually that the Oilers are front runners for the moment. And Ken Holland has spoken about this and has kind of said, he believes in second chances. Yeah. Connor McDavid as well has more or less come out and said, without actually saying it, winning is everything. So if he's going to help us win, that's fine. Do you think he would be, based on what you've all said about locker room and all that, do you think it could actually work in Edmonton, considering what's there? Hannah?
I don't think he's the difference for Edmonton making a Stanley Cup or not. I really don't. I think Edmonton's issues is goaltending and defense. Obviously they have offensive firepower in McDavid and Draisaitl, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is also a great player and great contributor at times on that team. So again, I think I wasn't surprised by Ken Holland or Connor McDavid's comments. I know that's kind of it's drawn a lot of talk in the hockey world, but at the end of the day, would anybody in the NHL say anything different?
Yeah, exactly. It's you're just mad, but it's not your favorite player who said it. And I'm sure a lot of our favorite players would say the same thing. So yeah. Mariah, what do you think? Edmonton, would that work or no?
I don't know. Honestly, I kind of, when we were talking about this in our little chat channel earlier, if, like I said, if he didn't have the stuff going on, if it was literally just like a trade kind of deal, maybe. But the other thing I should have said before with mine was, he just has always bugged me with his attitude. It always seems like he thinks he's done nothing wrong. And I just feel like with the way Edmonton's team seems to run, that just, obviously I'm not there. Like Kristy said, the fly on the wall thing, I don't know how the team meshes together, but I just feel like that's going to be a huge clash.
Yeah. Kristy, does he fit in or no?
I feel like there's so much pressure in that locker room with the people that they have in there. I feel like, I kind of feel like Evander Kane would be one of those people where if he actually did sign with Edmonton, he would be so motivated to like prove people wrong that he would go on like a ridiculous tear. I do agree with Hannah that their problem isn't their offense. It's everything else that comes with it. So I don't think he's the savior of the Edmonton Oilers by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know. I really don't know. Cause like I said, I find locker rooms fascinating, just like the dynamic and how it works. So I really don't know if he would fit in, but I think there would be an intense motivation, especially with how much, negative press he's gotten of like, I'm going to prove you wrong. If that even makes sense. I don't even know if I answered your question.
No, you did. You did very well. There's also like the thought of like you sort of alluded to it, Kristy, like playing in that market is just
It's
pressure
so hard.
cooker.
I don't even think it's fair
Done.
to even ask Connor McDavid those questions. Like those are questions for Ken Holland.
Agreed.
Like it's not even
Yeah.
fair to even put that on him. So
Yeah.
what do we expect him to say at that point in time?
Yeah, he's not going to throw his GM under the bus there.
Nope.
No.
Nope, for sure not. Well, we could talk about this for the
whole
entire
episode.
show, but we won't. I'm sure that there's definitely going to be more that comes from this Noah to worry. So I'm sure we'll be talking about it again. Before I continue, just a reminder, don't forget to sign up for the Hockey Writers Morning Skate at morningskate.io so you're not missing anything. It comes to your inbox at 8 a.m. sharp. And as if I needed to give you more incentive, Kristy is a contributor to it. So that's the only reason you need really to
It's so much fun.
sign up. Yes, it is so much fun. So I wanted to make this next topic a little challenge because it's a tough choice that I'm going to make you make here. Is you have to pick one of these players to start. You're a GM and you're starting a new franchise, expansion team, and you have the choice to make your franchise player either Trevor Zegras or Moritz Seider. So two sensational rookies who are Calder Trophy favorites this year. Which one? And you can only have one. Which one are you picking and why are you picking? Mariah, I'll start with you.
I didn't really prepare for this question at all, other than I know which player I'd pick. I'd say Zegras, and the only reason is because of his move he did. That is the only reason, and I'm going with it.
You know what? That works for me. That's a good reason. Kristy, who are you picking?
If I knew I was going to play GM so much as this episode, I would have dressed up more. For me, this is actually a really easy question. And I'm also going with Zegras because he's just so entertaining. And at the end of the day, you want to win a game, which he's capable of doing, but you also want to fill the seats. And I feel like between the two, and it's no disrespect, I feel like Zegras is the one that's going to fill the seats. So if I'm a GM looking to make money, I'm going with Trevor.
Yep. Can't go wrong for sure. Hannah, are you making it a clean sweep for Trevor Zegras or?
No, I'm going to be the dissenter. I feel like this does happen a lot where Kristy Mariah will be on one side and I'm on the opposite. No, I would say
Capricorns.
Yeah, we stick together.
The Capricorn versus the Sagittarius. The battle of the December birthdays. No, I think I would check. I mean, Kristy and Mariah just made very great points for Trevor Zegras. I don't think you could go wrong with either of them. But for me, I'm looking at defensemen play the most minutes. And I would Moritz Seider as a rookie is playing monster minutes for Detroit and making a huge impact. If you have somebody that you know can kind of carry your defense, then you can find other pieces to play offense. I think that's kind of the Bruins have done that a lot before throughout their history. So I think having a really great defenseman like Moritz Seider can make a huge difference when you're building your team.
And defensemen take longer to develop. So that's actually a very smart strategy.
Yeah, it's true.
So
I'm gonna split the panel here too. I was gonna go with Seider as well, because to me, to build a championship team, you need two 30-minute defensemen who eat up all these minutes, who are just on the ice in all situations. So he would be the one of the two. And the other thing you need is, a dominant centerman and a good goalie. So you've already got one piece of your championship team there. And I just think they're so valuable defensemen like him in this league. I wouldn't, even though I adore Trevor Zegras, I don't think be able to pass on him.
Anaheim Ducks teddy bear video was
the best.
The best.
That was the best. It's like you're debating of the actual strength of your ice product and then the franchise player. That's really who you're battling with.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I would take Trevor Zegras any day of the week too. But it's just,
We're not shutting the door on him.
For the purposes of this exercise.
Imagine if we could have both on the same team.
Oh,
That'd be great.
If only. Maybe someday at some tournament, or if they bring back some kind of fun tournament or something. Who knows? Rookie tournament or something. It'll be fun. See, our producer Matt just said that he's breaking the tie. By the way, he's going with Seider as well. So 3-2. So Seider is the pick.
And Matthew's opinion is the only one that really matters.
Yes.
So that's just
really.
that's all we need to know. I mean, you saw we all went silent when he pinged through.
Let's be honest, he knows them better than any of us. So yeah, if that's what he says, then that's what we should do. Okay, I wanted to wrap up the show with something fun. Actually, I was like excited for this segment. I wanted you to, I know you all have hockey jerseys somewhere in your closet that are meaningful for different reasons. And I wanted you to pick out your favorite one and tell me the story behind it. Because I'm always interested to know that. I'm kind of a jersey kind of official, like I love jerseys, so where it came back from. I'll start with Mariah because I think I know.
We all know.
We all know.
But for those who don't, it's a great story.
I'm not taking it out of the bag because Minnesota has been very cold lately and my hands are cracked very badly and I am not bleeding on this jersey. So this was my wedding present from my husband. It's a signed Kaprizov jersey. It's a custom one and it was a complete surprise and there's pictures and everything to prove it. And yeah, Kaprizov became my favorite player basically the very first game he played. And I didn't realize it at the time that I would actually make him my favorite, but yeah, it was a complete surprise and I am very happy with it.
You have to get it framed, right? Are you going to frame it or are you going to wear it?
I'm framing it. And my husband was actually for Christmas going to get me another Kaprizov jersey. He told me actually that one was signed too, but it was a little too much money for at the time. So, and that's okay. I was like, well, I want one that's not signed so I can actually wear it and feel good about wearing it and not wrecking it. No, this one's going in a frame once I get the frame for it.
So one for wearing, one for framing.
Now it sits on my shelf with my Zambonis and puck collection.
Love it. Hannah, what's yours?
So I don't have it on me at the moment, but it's a Canes jersey. It's not a Bruins jersey. So when I went to college in North Carolina, and that's kind of where I started getting into hockey when I was down there, of all things. And so the very first hockey game I ever went to was Canes versus the Vegas Golden Knights, and I dragged my two best friends with me. And my best friend Olivia, who's from Texas, had never been to a hockey game before, and she got really into it. So we would always go. Because the Canes had $15 student tickets, so we would go to Raleigh a couple of times a season and see a game. And one game, she borrowed this Canes jersey from our other friend's ex-boyfriend, who she was still friendly with, and she never returned it to him. Just passed this Canes jersey. So it became a joke amongst us, who was gonna wear the Canes jersey this game, and it was a lot of great stories. One game, I ended it with it because the last game we went to together, I ended up third wheeling a date between her and this other guy, and she's like, "I'm not wearing that Giant jersey. You're wearing the Giant jersey." And so I kept it in my closet. And when we graduated, I was like, do we need to give this back to him? And she goes, no, you keep it and take it home with you. So I still have it. And so, I have my Bergeron Bruins jersey, which I love, but the Canes jersey that holds a very special place to me.
Very cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Kristy.
I don't have a good story. I know, I'm going to be a loser for this segment. I have two Devils jerseys. I have a David Clarkson one and a Zach Parise one. And I have no real memory attached to it, except that they were my first and second jersey. I'm more of a baseball cap person, if you can't tell that already, because I wear a baseball cap every show. I don't really wear the jerseys that much. So I'm more of a baseball cap kind of gal. So sorry, I'm going to be the bad one for this segment.
But those are still
a Coleman jersey.
Yeah.
Shock.
No, Zach was, and honestly, even with my Zach Parise jersey, the Clarkson one was like a woman small and I'm swimming in it. It's just massive. So and they're expensive, as we all know. So I smartened up, and my Parise jersey is a child's extra, extra, extra large, which was like $38.95. So if you can fit in those, highly recommend it. Better financial option. So if I did get another one, it would be a kid's jersey again, if I could fit into it. But yeah, I'm not a big jersey fan. They're too much of a financial commitment, and I'm a very cheap person. If we're learning anything on this episode, Kristy is cheap. And Kristy likes baseball caps. Jersey. If someone wants to send me that, actually my dream jersey is a Jack O'Callahan New Jersey Devils jersey. So if someone can find me that, I would be appreciative. And I would have a story for the segment.
Okay. Shout out. Okay, this is a challenge for our viewers and our listeners. Let's find one and we'll pool our resources together here.
Jack O'Callahan, if you're watching, I love you. I would love a jersey. You could sign it. It'd be great.
Okay, well, that's hard to follow up now. I have to think. Okay. No, so I have a few Habs jerseys. Well, first of all, it's a great jersey because it's a Habs jersey, right? Like, it's the best.
Oh, I like that one.
But it has this is the first Habs jersey that I ever bought for myself, because it has the name of my all-time favorite Hab on it. Saku Koivu, number 11. So he was the first player that I really loved. And we all know his story and all of the hardships that he went through during his career, and how he's sort of more than a hockey player here and still in Montreal. He's one of the most beloved players in team history. And every time he comes back to Montreal, it's like, God is here. And actually it's funny because there's quite a few people who, with all these front office changes, were secretly hoping that he would accept a position in the Habs front office. But anyway, he's happy in Finland these days. But yeah, it's meaningful to me just because it was my first one, and yeah, it's my all-time favorite Habs. So that's my jersey story. I was so excited to get it. I remember when I had got the money together and I was like, all right, I'm going. And it was just like the best. So
that's a good story. I like that one. You guys all have really good stories. I'm missing out over here, but you guys all have good stories.
You need to get a jersey. Yeah, but you have a Zach Parise jersey. That's pretty good. And
I do. I mean, it's not official or anything, like I said, but it's okay. It's okay. It's all good.
The Kane jersey I have is probably there's no last name on it. It's probably the most basic jersey you could get, but you love it.
I'm telling you, those cheap ones, man.
Yeah, it has meaning. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. And those ones, it doesn't matter what they look like. It's just when you wear it, it just feels, special. And
you feel a certain way in it. It's fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Must be nice.
Well, that's how I wanted to end the show, on something a little fun, a little personal. Thanks as always for tuning in and listening. And in case I haven't convinced you with my first 2 plugs, please sign up for the morning skate. Please, 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 please. One thing that they did a couple of days ago that I really loved was reliving all of Wes McCauley's best moments.
And then I'm going to shout out myself there.
Kristy, of course, I should have known. I love Wes McCauley. He's worth the price of admission.
Oh, 100%.
Right when he's officiating.
He's the best.
And I just I loved going through that segment because I don't know if you girls saw the one recently that kind of went viral. He was calling a 5-minute major for fighting, and he does the whole for fighting. It's
yeah.
So
him telling Brad Marchand that he should call a penalty and he'd be the most popular guy in the arena, just iconic. He's just a legend. He's the Doc Emmerich of officials.
Yep.
He's just fantastic.
For sure. So again, that's the kind of content you're going to get on a daily basis to your inbox. So please sign up. I promise you will not regret it. Morningskate.io. And with that, we'll see you next week.